Good evening and thank you for watching this digital newscast. 4 more people in Monroe County have died from COVID-19, bringing the total to 14. 46 people have been diagnosed since yesterday. Here's a map of the county highlighting where those cases are clustered. There are 436 confirmed cases, and as you can see, the west side of the city and the suburbs to the east have been hit the hardest so far. 77 people are hospitalized with COVID-19 in Monroe County. 28 of those patients are in intensive care tonight. And the National Guard is preparing to remove ventilators and other medical equipment and supplies from some areas in New York that aren't using them, and then transferring them to places that are, like New York City. Governor Cuomo signed an executive order today to begin collecting them and getting them to places in need. The state will either return the equipment or reimburse facilities for them. The fight to get essential items like gloves, gowns, and face masks continued across the country. New York and several other states are trying to buy the items from China. The cost of a face mask used to be about 70 cents. They're now upwards of $7 per mask. Governor Cuomo says he needs companies here in New York State to set up and really try to produce these on their own.
We need companies to make the materials. It is unbelievable to me that in New York State, in the United States of America, we can't make these materials, and that we are all shopping China to try to get these materials, and we're all competing against each other. These are not complex materials. I apologize for the hardship to those institutions. Ultimately, there is no hardship. If you don't get the ventilator back, I give you my personal word, I will pay you for the ventilator. But I'm not going to let people die because we didn't redistribute ventilators.
Local lawmakers, local leaders, not all that happy with this new order. Representative Tom Reed, a Republican, along with several other lawmakers, released this joint statement today saying, quote, "Taking our ventilators by force leaves our people without protection and our hospitals unable to save lives today or respond to a coming surge. We stand together opposing the governor's very dangerous and reckless action. He is leaving our communities in a terrible position, which will cost lives." More on this right here at RochesterFirst.com. The federal government reports the U.S. economy lost 701,000 jobs in March as a result of the COVID-19 crisis. Most of the job loss was in the restaurant industry, along with bars, followed by retailers and health care, as routine visits at dentists and physicians' offices fell. The unemployment rate also rose 4.4%. It's the first time the economy lost more jobs than gained in a month since September of 2010. And keep in mind, this is a rough picture. These numbers could easily grow under future analysis. President Trump says the federal government is close to recommending everyone in the country wear masks when they go outside. A doctor we spoke with today at Rochester Regional Health says that everyone wearing masks couldn't hurt, but social distancing is still the best way to prevent getting the virus. He says not to get a false sense of security just from wearing a mask, and to realize that it's meant more to protect the people around you.
In a supermarket where most people are not coughing a lot and stuff like that, probably homemade masks are quite useful. And, you know, then you should take them home every day probably and wash them every day. You know, wash them in bleach, a bleach solution, dry them, that would help, reuse them. You have to be careful, though, that you don't get a false sense of security by having the mask.
For all of the latest information on the COVID-19 pandemic, keep it here to RochesterFirst.com. You can also follow us on Facebook and Twitter for news as it happens. Thank you for watching, everybody. Have a safe weekend.